I knew that I was painting it white, and I did not want to have any bleeding. I don't normally paint white. I like painting in colors, although I can appreciate white furniture. I think it's beautiful. It's not my favorite to do. And this one bled. The piece that I've been working on is for a friend. She's had it for 46 years. Her parents gave it to her when she was 5 years old. I looked at this and I thought, this isn't actually in really, really good condition. Once I got it home, I realized that it was broken inside. Sometimes you can't read a book by its cover. You can't look at something and know exactly what it's been through or what is wrong with it. And she's recently adopted a beautiful, beautiful baby girl, and she's gonna put this in her room. And I love that idea. I love that I get to be a part of that blessing in that story. And it got me thinking, it's just like us. You can look at me and you can say, well, she doesn't have any problems, she's never been through anything. But that would be wrong. We used the original knobs. I cleaned them. I took all the dirt off of it. The color looks amazing. It's, transformation. Just like us, we can clean up really well and we can look like we have it all together, but we really don't.
Look at the napkins. As soon as I wiped everything down after cleaning it with TSP, I knew that this was still going to bleed because of the staining on the napkins.
The bleeding is part of the process, and sometimes it can get frustrating when you're trying to work on something.
I worked with what I had on hand. I put 2 coats of DIY Crystal Clear Chandelier Liquid Patina. It's white right now, but when it dries, it gets clear.
It probably would have bled worse. I don't know.
I used the Crystal Clear Chandelier because once I painted the white on the furniture, I wanted to be able to stand back and be able to see the wood. Normally, I would have sprayed this with shellac, but I didn't have any on hand.
Some people want to make it brand spanking new. They want to fill in all the cracks and they want to make it like a new piece. I don't like to do that. I really like to leave it how it is, flaws and all, because it tells a story.
The veneer was coming up and I had to make a quick repair. I had to take my putty knife and pull out all of the spots that were not glued down. I used a wood filler and filled the spot and then sanded it smooth so that I could be able to paint it.
And I asked her, do you want me to fill everything in? And I'm so glad that she said no, because it's not new. It's been through some stuff. It has character. It's developed its appearance over time, over use. And you know what? It's just like us, and it's okay. We have wrinkles, we get old, we age, we don't look the same like we did when we were younger. But that makes us who we are. And when I went to open the drawers, they wouldn't open. And we had to finagle the drawers out, and then come to realize the railings in the middle was broken on 2 of the bottom drawers. And it got me thinking, it's just like us. You can look at me and you can say, well, she doesn't have any problems, she's never been through anything, but that would be wrong. We're all broken on the inside at some point in our lives. And I love that because I have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, that over time, one at a time, as I relinquish things to Him, He shows me those broken pieces and He heals it and He restores it. And so just like I glued it back together and put clamps on there and just held it tight and let that friction and that impact, the contact, reunite those 2 pieces together, that's exactly what God does for us. And it just adds to the story of our life. All of those stories, they're marks of distinction. It separates us from everybody else, but it also helps us to relate to other people. It helps us to bond and have compassion, extend grace and extend mercy. because we've all been through stuff. We're not perfect. There's nothing that is perfect, and that's what I love about old furniture. It's not perfect. It tells a wonderful, fabulous story of a life lived.
I finally got to start painting, and what I did is I mixed a few different whites of DIY paint to come up with this color.
This side, the side didn't stain at all. The other side stained almost all the way down, halfway down. So I sent my son to get shellac. So the best thing to do is just stop, let it dry, put 1 or 2 coats of shellac over it depending on how bad the bleeding is, and then repaint. If you're painting with darker colors, it really doesn't matter. You just go with it. It can just add to the finish.
When I don't paint the hardware on a piece, I use screwdrivers to be able to open the doors, and so that I can get a nice finish along the edges of the doors. And once I shellacked it, I was able to go ahead and just paint right over it without any problems. Each layer, I use my Fine Mist sprayer water bottle because I really want to make sure that the paint glides on for a smooth finish. Now, if I wanted to do a textured finish, I probably wouldn't do this. I also do this for blending techniques, but it really helps the paint to just glide on smoothly. I love using my Paint Pixie brush. This particular one is really comfortable on my hand. It's a blending brush, but it's also just an overall good painting brush. And as you can see, it makes the work easy.
I don't always sand my entire piece down, but I really felt like this piece would do really well and look good with a smooth finish. So I sanded it down with a 220 sanding sponge, and it was super smooth to the touch. It just looked amazing. I think that's why I really like distressing. I sanded the edges to reveal the wood, to reveal what was on the inside underneath the paint. And at times, that's what we have to do when we have people that are hurting. Sometimes we have to reveal what's on the inside to them to help them in their journey of healing.
After sanding, you want to take a lint-free cloth and wipe it down. The sanding produces a powdery substance. You can see it all over my clothes, all over my hands. And so you really want to remove all of the dust so that when you wax it, you have a really good smooth finish.
And then I sealed it with DIY clear wax. I put 2 coats of that, and then I buffed it. Buffing it just helps to seal it beautifully, and it also helps to give it a sheen, and I feel like it just helps to have a durable finish. The DIY wax on its own is a durable finish, and after 30 days the paint and the wax cures depending on temperature and humidity. I've waxed with DIY wax. I've never had to re-wax. All I do is I clean it periodically with a lint-free cloth. I do not use any chemicals on my furniture. I would love it if you would join me on my website, chalkitupwithlisa.com. You can also subscribe to my emails. I send weekly emails with blogs on devotions and painting tips as well, and so that you can be the first to know all of the good stuff that I put out there. I hope that you've enjoyed this process, and I hope that you will go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I would love to connect with you, so comment below. Let me know what problems you have had when you've been painting, especially if you've been painting white, how you feel about it, how you've conquered those obstacles. I can't wait to hear from you. I can't wait to connect with you. I hope that you have a very blessed day.